Here's the part nobody really wants to say out loud. The retirement system your parents were promised is running out of money. The exact year? 2033. For a system built decades ago that just kind of assumed we'd have this young, infinitely growing workforce forever, well, this is a massive collision with reality. But here is the wild part. Somehow, that exact same mathematical collapse hitting in 2033 is quietly creating one of the biggest financial opportunities of our lifetime. Every system that collapses creates a gap, right? And every gap becomes someone's opportunity. While a lot of people are going to be caught totally off guard by this, others are paying attention and they're positioning themselves early for a very predictable wealth transfer. So, in this explainer, I'll break down why the aging of the population is being called both the end of an era and one of the biggest financial opportunities we'll ever see. We're going to look at what that actually means for your money, whether you're 25 right now or 55. Section 1. The demographic math, a shrinking system. Okay, let's look at the hard reality here. Social Security's Retirement Trust Fund is projected to run completely dry in 2033. If nothing changes, everyone depending on it faces an automatic 23% cut to their monthly check starting the very next year. Just imagine waking up and finding almost a quarter of your primary income simply erased overnight. That's the cliff we are rapidly approaching. So why is this happening? Honestly, it's just simple math. The number of Americans aged 65 and older grew a staggering 28% in just the last 10 years. Meanwhile, there are way fewer working-age people paying into the system to support them. Every single year, fewer workers are left carrying more and more retirees. It's like a seesaw that's totally lost its balance. Section 2. The behavioral trap. Making it worse. Now, while the macro math is bad enough, most people are actually making it worse for themselves without even knowing it. The most common age Americans leave the workforce is 62. That's the earliest possible age you can claim benefits. And yet only a tiny 11% of people actually wait until age 70, which is the age that would actually maximize what they receive. Here's why that matters so much. That single decision to claim at 62 permanently cuts your monthly payment by up to 30% for the rest of your life. Think about that combination for a second. You are locking in a 30% lifetime penalty right before the system itself is projected to trigger an automatic 23% cut. It's a brutal, compounding trap. Section 3, the turn, the longevity economy. Here's where the story totally flips, because while the old system is running out of road, an entirely new economy is being built around the exact same trend. Older workers aren't disappearing from the labor force, they're actually the fastest growing part of it. People aged 65 to 74 in the workforce are growing over 4% a year. And people 75 and older, they're growing nearly 7% a year. That's not a decline. That is an entire generation completely redefining what retirement even means. This creates what we call the longevity economy. We're talking about a huge boom in healthcare for longer lives, specialized caregiving services, and financial planning for retirements that now have to last 25 or 30 years instead of just 10. The end of the old era isn't the end of opportunity. Actually, scratch that. It's just a massive redistribution of it. Section 4, your new retirement playbook, how to adapt. So how do we adapt? First point, stop assuming Social Security will look the same for you. Whatever age you are, plan as if the benefit you eventually receive could be smaller than what today's retirees get. That's not pessimism, that's just reading the math. Second point, deeply understand the real cost of claiming early. If you're years away from retirement, know this now. Claiming at 62 can permanently cost you up to 30% of your income. And third, look at where the longevity economy is growing. You don't need to build a healthcare startup to benefit from this, but just understanding where the economy is heading helps you make much smarter career and investment decisions. I want you to really internalize this mindset shift. Planning to work a few years longer, if your health and your job allow it, is quite literally one of the highest return financial decisions available to almost anyone. It's often painted as this failure of the American dream, but it's really a highly strategic move that maximizes your payout and keeps you actively engaged. The aging of the population isn't a single story. For a system built decades ago, assuming a young, growing workforce forever, yeah, it really is the end of an era. But for people paying attention, planning ahead, and positioning themselves early, it's one of the clearest, most predictable opportunities of the next 20 years. The system running out isn't really the question anymore. The question is whether you're going to plan around it or find out the hard way at 62. So drop a comment below. Do you think this is the end of an era or the beginning of a new one? Thanks for checking out this explainer, and I'll catch you in the comments.